Hello guys, it's Francis. Um, I want to share with the community the build that I did with my CNC router X, Y and Z. And I'm doing two videos. One is the mechanical part that you can see what I have built, and the second one will be the electrical part. I'm using a Tiny G and a Makita router. So basically the first thing that I did is I built quite a strong frame, too light basically for the machine, but I will see how it will work with some materials, wood, acrylic and aluminium. Probably I'm not going to grind or mill steel, but you can see that I used 2020 or 2040 profiles, made the junctions that I can adjust, the angles and so on. Then on the x-axis I try to integrate the cable chain and the spindle as much as possible in the build. Previewed also a forward and backward way for the cooling of this future spindle that is not installed yet, and one will be the cooling of the material, probably dust dispenser or whatever I'm going to use. This is a feature. And ordered the cable drag from China, spindles from China, and the linear bearings, 15mm bearings, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. The side part was quite heavily to do because I tried to get quite a high travel on the X, Y and Z as big as possible, and as you can see, the X and Y axis are built basically the same way. 3 profiles, one for the spindle in the middle and one on top for the cable drag. Actually here you can see the feature of the accordion that I'm going to install. This is not done yet, but will be done soon. And then I'm going to the x-axis. Here I have used the actually, I hope that you can see that, a spindle also from China, cable drag, NEMA 23 motors. Actually, I used everywhere NEMA 23 motors because I had absolutely no idea what will be the torque and the limitation of the installation. So I just wanted to use all the same motors. Today I know that they are absolutely oversized, but it doesn't matter. Here also the same thing. I always have the feature of the spindle motor. I can use a 3-phase or neutral 220, whatever that is going to see. I'm going to see that. And here I have connected the limit switches. Limit switches on all axes, minimum and maximum. To prevent any noise on the line, I used relays. So I'm running here with 24 volt DC, going to the relays and keep the line as short as possible from the relay to the Tiny G to prevent any electrical interference. I prepared also the mechanical part that I basically could, in case, change the motor from one side to the other. yeah, probably I'm not going to use that, but it's prepared. Um, yeah, so you can see that's basically my mechanical part. Not much more to say about the limit switches on the Z-axis. I used standard switches controlled over the relay and with some flags that when I drop on the switch, that's probably a modification that I'm going to do in the future. Here you can see the 3 pipes, 2 for the feature of cooling spindle and 1 for the cooling of the material. That was quite a difficult part because I hadn't done it, and yeah, so work, building, unbuilding, building, unbuilding, correction, modification, and so on. But it looks quite okay. Here you can see that I already installed the accordion for the Z-axis. I used some kind of scratching, basically that's holding. Another modification that I'm going to do is because it's wobbling. I'm going to use or make some lining guides that I have to install on the Z-axis. The spindle, I have prepared it that I can install the flange on vertical way, and I also can change the chuck to the lower position. This is because I'm also planning to build a tilt lifting and round table, but this is future, so it's not done yet, but yeah, however. So also what I'm going to do, but it's not done yet, is a vacuum table. I took quite a heavy material to make it strong construction. The level of the table, honestly I don't know yet how it's going to be the accuracy, but let's see how that's going to be. Of course, like everybody else knows, if you're building something like that the first time, you're definitely going to modify, or you would do some stuff in a different way, but I'm quite happy at the moment with the state that I in. One other basic thing that I did is I installed on the one side all the electrical part with some spare place to install the frequency converter for the feature of a water-cooled spindle, and on the other side I'm going to or I have reserved a place to do all the cooling stuff, the pneumatics, if something is going to be needed. Of course, it could also be that I'm going to do some automatic stuff with changing parts, pieces, whatever. I will see that. At the moment, the state is that I want to see running the machine, doing some experience with the tiny G, and so on. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope that I could help somebody or whatever. Let me know.